and the wind's 120 knots from the west. Oh, thing, dude.
Psychic visions, secret programs, and UFO mysteries. Ingo Swann, a key figure in Project Stargate, helped the CIA explore the unexplained through remote viewing. But his work was just the start. Navy UFO encounters, FBI files, and Pentagon secrets soon came to light. Let's uncover the truth behind these declassified revelations. The Enigma of Ingo Swann, psychic spy and remote viewer. In the midst of the Cold War, the US government turned to an unlikely weapon, a gifted psychic who claimed he could see across space and time with nothing but his mind. This is the story of Ingo Swann, a man whose extraordinary abilities would blur the lines between reality and the impossible, leading him into the heart of one of history's most secretive government projects. From an early age, Swann's family recognized his unique abilities as he demonstrated a keen sensitivity to the unseen world around him. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Swann began to explore the depths of his psychic powers, volunteering for experiments that sought to unravel the mysteries of extrasensory perception, ESP, and remote viewing. It was during these early studies that Swann's exceptional talent caught the attention of researchers at the Stanford Research Institute, SRI. Intrigued by his uncanny ability to project his consciousness into sealed boxes and accurately describe their contents, the scientists at SRI knew they had stumbled upon a rare and valuable asset. As Swann delved deeper into the realms of remote viewing, his reputation grew, attracting the interest of an even more enigmatic organization, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. The agency, ever watchful for potential advantages in the Cold War, saw in Swann a tool that could be harnessed to gain a strategic edge over their Soviet adversaries. Thus began a clandestine partnership that would span years, as Swann became a key participant in Project Stargate, a top-secret CIA program dedicated to exploring the potential of psychic phenomena. From the confines of SRI's laboratories to the shadowy halls of the agency, Swann's incredible abilities were put to the test, as he was tasked with using his mind to traverse the boundaries of space and time. However, no amount of government training could have prepared Swann or his handlers for what he would discover when his psychic gaze turned toward the moon. Swann's controversial claims, aliens on the dark side of the moon. As Ingo Swann's psychic explorations took him beyond the confines of Earth, he found himself drawn to a series of remote viewing sessions that would later become the stuff of legend. What he claimed to discover would challenge everything we thought we knew about our celestial neighbor. According to Swann, his mind's eye had pierced the veil of the moon's dark side, revealing a hidden world teeming with extraterrestrial activity. Towering structures, sprawling complexes, and eerie lights flickered across the lunar landscape, hinting at a presence far beyond human understanding. But it was Swann's encounter with the humanoid figures that truly sent shockwaves through the intelligence community. As he observed these beings, busily engaged in what appeared to be mining operations, an unsettling realization dawned upon him. These entities were not only aware of his psychic intrusion, but possessed abilities that rivaled his own. The implications were staggering. Had Swann stumbled upon an extraterrestrial outpost, hidden from the prying eyes of Earth's inhabitants, or was he witnessing the inner workings of a clandestine human operation, concealed beneath the cloak of the moon's eternal shadow? Behind these explosive revelations lay an even darker secret, a classified government program that had transformed a gifted psychic into America's most unusual Cold War weapon. Project Stargate, the CIA's secret psychic program. As the Cold War intensified, the CIA began exploring unconventional methods of intelligence gathering, and the potential of psychic phenomena quickly caught their attention. Enter Project Stargate, a highly classified program that sought to harness the power of remote viewing for espionage and military purposes. At the heart of this endeavor was Ingo Swann, whose uncanny skills had already earned him a reputation as one of the world's foremost psychic spies. Under the watchful eye of CIA handlers, Swann was subjected to a grueling regimen of tests and experiments designed to push the boundaries of his abilities and explore the limits of what was possible with the human mind. From remote viewing sessions targeting Soviet installations to attempts to gather intelligence on foreign leaders, Swann's talents were put to the ultimate test. As the program progressed, the CIA's interest in psychic phenomena only grew stronger. Other gifted individuals were brought into the fold, forming an elite team of psychic operatives tasked with uncovering the secrets of America's adversaries. But as the years passed and the Cold War came to an end, the CIA's enthusiasm for Project Stargate began to wane. Faced with mounting skepticism from the scientific community and pressure to justify its budget, the agency eventually made the decision to terminate the program. It would be decades before the truth about Project Stargate finally came to light, as the CIA slowly began to declassify the thousands of documents related to its psychic research. For Ingo Swann, the release of these files was a vindication of sorts, offering tangible proof of his involvement in one of the most extraordinary chapters in the history of human consciousness. But while these documents validated Swann's government work, they remained silent on his most unsettling personal encounter, a chance meeting that would shake his understanding of reality itself. Swann's mysterious encounters, the alluring extraterrestrial woman. As Ingo Swann's psychic journey took him to the far reaches of human understanding, he found himself drawn into a web of intrigue that extended far beyond the CIA's secret programs. What happened next would leave an indelible mark on his already extraordinary life. It was during a seemingly routine trip to the supermarket that Swann first laid eyes upon the woman who would come to haunt his dreams. Stunningly beautiful, with an otherworldly aura that seemed to defy explanation, she moved through the aisles with a grace that left Swann utterly transfixed. But there was something more to this mysterious figure than mere physical attraction. As Swann watched her, he felt an unmistakable sense of recognition, as though he had known her from another time and place. It was a feeling that only intensified when he noticed the presence of two familiar figures, the twins, the enigmatic agents who had played such a crucial role in his work with the CIA. Unnerved by the encounter, Swann sought answers from his handler, the ever-elusive Mr. Axelrod, but the response he received only deepened the mystery. Axelrod, his voice tinged with an uncharacteristic urgency, warned Swann to stay away from the woman, insisting that she was dangerous in ways that defied explanation. The implications were clear. Swann had stumbled upon something that even the CIA feared, a power that extended beyond the realm of psychic phenomena and into the murky depths of the unknown. Was the woman an extraterrestrial being, as Swann's intuition suggested, or was she something else entirely, a figure whose true nature was hidden behind a veil of secrecy and misdirection? As Swann grappled with these questions, he found himself drawn ever deeper into a labyrinth of conspiracy and intrigue. one that would test the limits of his psychic abilities and challenge everything he thought he knew about the nature of reality itself. If meeting the mysterious woman had cracked Swann's understanding of reality, his next encounter would shatter it completely. The Alaskan UFO incident, Swann's close encounter. In a clandestine trip to the frozen wilderness, accompanied by the enigmatic Mr. Axelrod and the mysterious twins, Swann found himself in a remote location, far from the prying eyes of the world. As the group trekked through the dense forest, the silence of the night was suddenly shattered by an otherworldly hum. Swann watched in awe as a triangular craft, measuring approximately 90 feet wide, emerged from the depths of a nearby lake. The craft emitted an eerie, pulsing light that seemed to defy the laws of physics, casting an ethereal glow upon the tranquil waters. Swann and his companions watched in stunned silence as the craft hovered above the lake, its presence both mesmerizing and terrifying. Beams of light shot forth from the mysterious vessel, scanning the surrounding area with an almost sentient precision. As one of the beams approached their location, the group was forced to take cover, their hearts pounding in their chests as they witnessed a technology far beyond human comprehension. In the aftermath of the encounter, Swann found himself grappling with the implications of what he had witnessed. He theorized that the craft was an unmanned drone, possibly engaged in a resupply mission for a hidden extraterrestrial base. The idea that intelligent life from beyond our world could be operating in secret right under our noses was both exhilarating and deeply unsettling. As Swann shared his theory with Axelrod, he was met with a cryptic response. The older man neither confirmed nor denied Swann's suspicions, leaving him with more questions than answers. It was a pattern that would come to define Swann's encounters with the world of UFOs and government secrecy, a tantalizing glimpse into a reality that seemed to exist just beyond the veil of human understanding. As word of these extraordinary encounters spread, a new chapter would begin, one that would put his credibility and sanity to the ultimate test. Unraveling the truth, analyzing Swann's claims. Within the intelligence community, skeptics and believers alike found themselves grappling with the plausibility of Swann's claims. His experiences, while undeniably compelling, were often met with a mixture of fascination and incredulity. One of the primary challenges in validating Swann's accounts lay in the lack of concrete evidence. Remote viewing sessions, by their very nature, were difficult to verify, as they relied on the subjective experiences of the viewer. Skeptics argued that Swann's descriptions of alien structures on the moon and his encounters with extraterrestrial beings could be nothing more than vivid hallucinations or the product of an overactive imagination. Yet, there were also those who pointed to Swann's track record of success in other remote viewing tasks as evidence of his genuine abilities. His accurate descriptions of targets, both on Earth and beyond, lent credence to the idea that his psychic powers were not merely the stuff of fantasy. One of the most compelling cases in favor of Swann's abilities was his remote viewing of Jupiter. In a series of sessions conducted before the Voyager probes reached the gas giant, Swann provided detailed descriptions of the planet's features, including its atmospheric composition, weather patterns, and even the existence of a previously unknown ring system. When the probes finally arrived at Jupiter, many of Swann's observations were confirmed, leading some to hail his sessions as a triumph of psychic remote viewing. However, even this apparent success was not without its detractors. Some suggested that Swann's descriptions of Jupiter could have been based on educated guesses or a keen understanding of planetary science. Others pointed to the possibility of information leaks or inadvertent cues from the researchers overseeing the sessions. Perhaps the most intriguing alternative explanation for Swann's alleged encounters with extraterrestrials was the possibility that he had fallen victim to a Soviet disinformation campaign. During the height of the Cold War, it was not uncommon for the USSR to employ sophisticated tactics to sow confusion and discord within the American intelligence community. Some speculated that Swann's encounters with the mysterious woman in the supermarket, or even his Alaskan UFO sighting, could have been elaborate Soviet hoaxes designed to distract and mislead. As the debate surrounding Swann's claims continued, one thing became clear: the truth behind his experiences would remain elusive. Though Swann's experiences defied verification, a new era of UFO encounters was dawning, one that would be documented by the most sophisticated military technology available. The unexplained phenomena. Fascinating UFO encounters. In the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, a routine training exercise would soon turn into an encounter that would forever change our understanding of the UFO phenomenon. It was November 14, 2004, when the USS Nimitz carrier strike group found itself face-to-face with an object that defied all conventional explanations. The incident began when radar operators aboard the USS Princeton detected a series of anomalous aerial vehicles operating in the area. Commander David Fravor and Lieutenant Commander Jim Slate, two experienced FA-18F Super Hornet pilots, were dispatched to investigate. What they encountered would challenge their years of training and push the boundaries of their understanding of physics itself. As the pilots approached the location, they were stunned to see a 40-foot-long, white, oblong object hovering just above the churning waters. The craft, which would later become known as the Tic Tac due to its peculiar shape, exhibited flight characteristics that were unlike anything the pilots had ever seen. It moved with incredible speed and agility, darting and zigzagging across the sky in ways that seemed to defy the laws of aerodynamics. The Nimitz encounter was just the beginning of a series of remarkable UFO incidents involving the US military. In the years that followed, a trove of leaked Navy videos would emerge, each one more astonishing than the last. The FLIR, gimbal, and go-fast videos, captured by advanced imaging systems aboard military aircraft, showed objects performing seemingly impossible maneuvers, leaving experienced pilots and analysts alike scratching their heads. As the videos made their way into the public domain, the Pentagon found itself under increasing pressure to acknowledge their authenticity. In a stunning move, the Department of Defense confirmed that the videos were indeed genuine and that the objects depicted remained unidentified. The admission sent shockwaves through the UFO research community and sparked a renewed interest in the phenomenon among the general public. Despite the Pentagon's acknowledgement, the mystery surrounding these encounters only deepened. The object's incredible speed, agility, and ability to operate without any visible means of propulsion challenged our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality. While modern military technology captured these extraordinary encounters, an earlier Navy sighting, though less technically documented, had set a compelling precedent. The USS Trepang UFO incident. Examining the evidence. While government psychics peered into distant worlds, closer to home, another mysterious encounter was challenging our understanding of UFOs beneath the Arctic waves. In March 1971, the USS Trepang, a Sturgeon-class submarine, was conducting a routine mission in the Arctic Ocean between Iceland and Jan Mayen Island. During this mission, the submarine allegedly encountered an unidentified object, which was captured in a series of photographs taken through the periscope. The photographs, which were later published in the French paranormal magazine Top Secret, show various unidentified objects in the sky. Some of the images depict classic saucer-shaped craft, while others show elongated, cigar-shaped objects that seem to change shape between photographs. One of the most intriguing aspects of the photographs is the presence of a conning tower on one of the objects, which some have interpreted as evidence of an extraterrestrial craft. Additionally, the photographs are marked with official-looking labels such as official photograph and not to be released, adding to their air of authenticity. However, despite the intriguing nature of the photographs, there is a lack of corroborating evidence to support the USS Trepang UFO encounter. No official records or documents have been found that confirm the incident, and the US Navy has not acknowledged the authenticity of the photographs. Furthermore, skeptics have pointed out that the photographs could have been easily hoaxed or manipulated, given the lack of additional evidence. Some have suggested that the objects in the images could simply be weather balloons, optical illusions, or even targets used by the submarine for practice. The primary witnesses to the alleged encounter, Admiral Dean Reynolds Sackett and John Cleaker, have either been difficult to locate or unwilling to discuss the incident in detail. This lack of witness testimony has made it challenging to verify the details surrounding the USS Trepang UFO encounter. While direct witnesses remained silent, another path to UFO truth was emerging, one that would bypass human testimony entirely and go straight to the government's own files. The Black Vault, unveiling the CIA's UFO documents. In the murky depths of the CIA's vast archives, a trove of secrets lay hidden, waiting to be unveiled. For decades, the agency had maintained a tight grip on its UFO-related files, denying the public access to the truth behind one of the most enduring mysteries of our time. But one man, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a determination to expose the truth, would stop at nothing to bring these secrets to light. John Greenwald Jr., a tireless researcher and founder of the online repository known as the Black Vault, had made it his life's mission to uncover the CIA's hidden history. Through countless Freedom of Information Act FOIA requests and years of dogged persistence, Greenwald slowly chipped away at the agency's defenses, prying loose document after document related to UFO sightings, investigations, and cover-ups. The process was not for the faint of heart. Greenwald often found himself facing a bureaucratic labyrinth, with the CIA employing every tactic in its arsenal to keep its secrets under wraps. Redacted pages, endlessly delayed responses, and outright denials were all part of the agency's strategy to maintain the status quo. But Greenwald refused to be deterred. With each hard-won document, he painstakingly pieced together a picture of the CIA's involvement in the UFO phenomenon, revealing a complex web of investigations, disinformation campaigns, and high-level cover-ups. Among the most startling revelations to emerge from the Black Vault were reports of a Bosnian fugitive who claimed to have had direct contact with extraterrestrial beings, and a mysterious explosion in a remote Russian town that some believed to be linked to UFO activity. These cases, buried deep within the CIA's files, hinted at a reality far stranger than the official narrative would suggest. Perhaps most disturbing of all was the realization that the documents obtained by Greenwald represented only the tip of the iceberg. With each new release, it became clear that the CIA's UFO-related activities were far more extensive than previously believed, spanning decades and involving some of the agency's most secretive programs. As Greenwald continued to peel back the layers of secrecy surrounding the CIA's UFO files, he found himself at the center of a growing movement demanding answers from the government. Armed with the power of the internet and the support of a global community of truth seekers, he pressed forward, determined to expose the reality behind the UFO phenomenon, no matter the cost. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The FBI just declassified a document saying that a remote viewer saw this on a distant planet. In the 1990s, NASA reportedly used a remote viewer to observe Mars, and what he claimed to see was astonishing. He described a dome-shaped structure surrounded by other mysterious instruments that appeared highly advanced but defied identification. Intrigued by his findings, researchers began investigating, considering it a potential hint of extraterrestrial life. However, to this day, no conclusive results have been presented. What are your thoughts on this? Share them in the comments. Government transparency and the push for UFO disclosure. While this Mars viewing revelation raised eyebrows, it marked just the beginning of a transformation in government secrecy about unexplained phenomena. A groundswell of public pressure was mounting, unlike anything seen before in the history of UFO research. For decades, the American people had been left in the dark, their questions met with evasion, denial, and outright deception. But a new era was dawning, one in which the truth could no longer be hidden behind the veil of national security. The push for transparency reached a critical milestone in December 2020 when the United States government passed a sweeping spending bill that included a pivotal clause on UFO disclosure. The provision, buried deep within the bill's thousands of pages, called upon government agencies to come forward with any and all information related to unidentified aerial phenomena. The implications of this legislative action were profound. No longer could the CIA, the Department of Defense, or any other government entity hide behind the excuse of classified information. The public had a right to know, and Congress had made it clear that the time for secrecy was over. As the gears of government began to turn, the true scope of the UFO phenomenon slowly came into focus. Documents that had been hidden away for decades were finally brought to light, revealing a complex history of sightings, encounters, and investigations that stretched back to the early days of the Cold War. But even as this new era of transparency dawned, some questioned whether the government's newfound openness was truly genuine. Skeptics pointed to the heavily redacted documents that continued to emerge, arguing that the most crucial pieces of the puzzle were still being withheld from public view. Others raised concerns about the role of advanced technology in the ongoing UFO debate. As human innovation continued to push the boundaries of what was possible, some wondered whether the government's ability to conceal the truth had only grown more sophisticated. With the advent of cutting-edge propulsion systems, stealth technology, and other breakthroughs, the line between human achievement and extraterrestrial phenomena became increasingly blurred. Despite these challenges, the push for UFO disclosure showed no signs of slowing down. Grassroots organizations, independent researchers, and everyday citizens united in their demand for the truth, leveraging the power of social media and other digital platforms to keep the pressure on their elected officials. The public's demand for answers was changing more than just government policy. It was transforming the very language we used to discuss these mysterious objects. The evolution of UFO terminology, from UFOs to UAPs. As the UFO phenomenon captured the public imagination, a quiet but significant shift was taking place behind the scenes. the very language used to describe these mysterious objects was evolving, reflecting a growing awareness of the complexity and nuance of the issue. The term UFO, short for Unidentified Flying Object, first entered the public lexicon in 1953, when the U.S. Air Force coined the phrase as part of its investigation into the growing number of reports of strange objects in the sky. The term quickly caught on, becoming a staple of popular culture and a shorthand for the idea of extraterrestrial visitation. But as the decades passed and the UFO phenomenon continued to elude easy explanation, some began to question the appropriateness of the term. The word flying seemed to imply a certain level of understanding about the nature of these objects, while the reality was that their method of propulsion and even their physical properties remained a mystery. In recent years, a new term has emerged to replace the venerable UFO, UAP, or Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. The shift in terminology reflects a growing recognition of the complexity of the issue and a desire to distance the phenomenon from some of the more sensational and speculative theories that have surrounded it. By referring to these objects as phenomena rather than flying objects, the term UAP acknowledges the inherent uncertainty surrounding their nature and origin. It opens the door to a wider range of possible explanations, from advanced human technology to natural phenomena, while still leaving room for the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. The adoption of the term UAP by government agencies and military officials marks a significant shift in the way the UFO phenomenon is approached. It reflects a growing willingness to engage with the issue seriously and scientifically, without the baggage of decades of speculation and stigma. This evolution in language reflects a deeper change in attitudes toward UFOs, one that could herald a new era of discovery and disclosure. The future of UFO research and disclosure. The pressure on government agencies to release information about these mysterious objects grows stronger by the day. In recent years, a steady drip of tantalizing disclosures has begun to emerge, hinting at a vast trove of classified information that could hold the key to unlocking the UFO enigma. But even as the demand for transparency grows, the challenges facing UFO researchers and advocates are formidable. Government agencies have a long history of secrecy and obfuscation when it comes to the UFO issue, and the road to full disclosure is likely to be a long and winding one. One of the most significant developments in recent years has been the advent of advanced technology for detecting and tracking UFOs. From sophisticated radar systems to high-resolution cameras and sensors, the tools available to researchers and military personnel alike have never been more powerful or more versatile. These technologies have already yielded some of the most compelling evidence for the reality of the UFO phenomenon, from the Nimitz encounter to the leaked Navy videos. As they continue to evolve and improve, the potential for even more groundbreaking discoveries is immense. But technology alone is not enough. The success of UFO research and disclosure efforts will ultimately depend on the willingness of government officials and military leaders to engage with the issue seriously and transparently. This will require a fundamental shift in the way the UFO phenomenon is approached, from a culture of secrecy and denial to one of openness and scientific inquiry. The stakes could not be higher. The potential consequences of UFO disclosure are difficult to overstate, with implications that could reshape every aspect of human society. From our understanding of the nature of the universe to our place in the cosmic order, the UFO phenomenon challenges us to rethink some of our most deeply held beliefs and assumptions. For those who have long been convinced of the reality of UFOs, the prospect of full disclosure is a tantalizing one. It represents the culmination of decades of tireless research and advocacy, a chance to finally bring the truth to light and to force a long overdue reckoning with one of the greatest mysteries of our time. But even for those who remain skeptical, the implications of the UFO phenomenon cannot be ignored. Whether of extraterrestrial origin or the product of advanced human technology, the existence of objects capable of performing seemingly impossible feats of speed and maneuverability has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of physics and engineering, with ripple effects that could transform every aspect of our lives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.